And welcome back to the Today with Tally podcast, folks. You have me today. I'll be riding shotgun with you, and we're going to talk a little bit about post traumatic stress. And I'm going to use my story as an example that may resonate with you, and perhaps we can help fix ourselves together. As many of you know, just over 2 years ago now, I started a podcast, and I was putting them out. I was putting them out almost every single day. A very obsessive type behaviors. Very, if I put my mind to something, I'm going to accomplish it, and that's how I've been in life. I grew up having a job very early in life, at 12 years old, and in helping my family, single mom, and protecting my little brother, all the way up and through high school, work, had several jobs, and then we'll go off and join the military, come back, and then start a successful small business that I ran until I got hurt due to VA medical malpractice. But some things have happened over the last 8.5 years that I thought were fixed, but they're not. And I've been struggling a lot lately. And I know this is hard for me to even talk about, but what good's a podcast, right? If you can't be yourself. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. Very bipolar at times, if you will. But stress will do that to you. And losing your livelihood will do that to you. And doing everything you possibly can to dig out of the quicksand you're in and feeling like you're absolutely surrounded by 100-foot walls of nothing but bricks and no way out. And the more you claw, the more you dig into your actual finger skin, and it just becomes raw. And you just got to sit back down and wait for them fingers to heal before you can start clawing your way out again. And feeling trapped and living miserably is no fun. But I've kept so much anger in. And it's tiring. It's extremely exhausting. And I finally said, enough's enough. I need to get some anger therapy. The good thing is my anger is very, very bottled up, but it's killing me inside, And this anger is not geared in any way toward my family or toward my friends. My family and my kids are my number one priority in life, and always have. I've been blessed to always have a very solid foundation of a family. 27 years of marriage, 4 beautiful, great kids. But here is where post-traumatic stress, I'm starting to figure it out. I've had so many veterans on and first responders and really anybody who has dealt with any traumatic type situation in their life. And I tell their stories. And we figure out, why are people taking their lives? And, why are people suffering so much in silence? And I'm starting to connect dots here on why things like that happen. Went on a long walk a couple of days ago when everything was just caving in around me again. Sometimes it's the slightest little things that don't go my way, Like, for an example, I've been trying to recreate myself for 8.5 years. after I lost my business due to no fault of my own. You got to understand, for 4 years, I sat in a chair. I was over 300 pounds. I had given up on life. I had nothing left to give. The only thing that got me up out of my chair was going and watching my kids play their sports on the weekends and going to Congress to fight this outdated law that destroyed me and my family, so it never happened again to another veteran and their family. Now, to give you an example of my post-traumatic stress in motion, I've been trying to recreate myself. So I started a TikTok account. I'm trying to get noticed to become a speaker, to go out and do speaking engagements, to create this this character, right? That people could like, share, follow, subscribe, perhaps one day get it monetized and start contributing again in a way I can contribute without having to go out and do a lot of hard labor. Like, my body's broken, and I know on the outside I look fine, guys. I get it. But trust me, my body's destroyed on the inside. I feel like a 90-year-old man. And that's what the doctors tell me. But I fight through it. I had a TikTok account, and they banned me. They banned me a week ago. And they banned me for nothing. I had done 1,133 videos in a year, in 12 months. I made a comment that I took directly out of quotes from CNN, AP Newswire, and Fox News about men that stood before the Ohio City Council in Springfield when he was talking about Haitians in his community and the duck issue that they're having there. I've got all the screenshots. I have all the information. I have all the evidence. I'm not hiding anything. I've never even had a violation in 1,133 videos. And then all of a sudden, one day, the night of the debate, when all this stuff is going on about these ducks, I get 3 violations, 1 post. I get a message that says my account will probably be removed. My anxiety's going up. I'm a 47-year-old man worrying about a TikTok account. Priorities, right? But I'm reinventing myself. It's important to me. What may be small to somebody else may not. What may be small to you is not small to me. And what may be a big deal to me is certainly not going to be a big deal to maybe others, and vice versa. So for 4 days, I sat there watching my phone to see if I was going to be banned. On the 5th day, I was. 3.1 million views in 12 months. I grew this thing super fast, over 10,000 followers. I was well on my way to creating this idea I had, putting it in full, complete motion, and it was taken away from me for no reason. And like I said, I have the receipts. And I'm a man of integrity. And if I did do something wrong, I would be the first one here to admit it. Yeah, rightfully so. I screwed up and they took away my account. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything wrong. So I go on my X account. I don't have a lot of followers there. The majority of my followers are on Facebook and we're on TikTok. And we're talking social media here, post-traumatic stress. Fill me in here. I'm looking for help. Hey guys, big accounts on X. Look at what they did to me. I need to get my account back. Everybody ignored me. Everybody ignored me. But when I get emails every single day from veterans, I don't ever ignore them. They probably looked at me and said, guy probably said something down, whatever, and got kicked off and just ignored me. But that's not true. Here's the receipts. Why is it that I'm always ignored? And everybody else just seems to go through life. The more you care, the bigger your heart is, the more you absolutely get railroaded in life. I'm a firm believer in that now. Call it jaded, call it whatever you want. I'm speaking truth. But guess what that did to my post-traumatic stress? It made it worse because it brought anger out. Not necessarily the anger of losing my account and then removing something else from myself, from my life that I built. But it goes back 8.5 years to when my business was taken away from me. And my family vehicle was taken away from me. My rental home was taken away from me. My retirement was taken away from me. And my physical health was taken away from me. And my mental health was taken away from me due to no fault of my own. So every time something happens, I always resort back to, it happened again. It happened again. And over 8.5 years, I've gotten to the point to where I said, I can't do this anymore. It's out of control. I don't like this guy when he's angry. I'll leave the house, and because I just need to get away and be alone. A lot of people don't like to be alone. I like to be alone sometimes, a lot. And it's probably not a healthy thing because you start to reminisce and you start to think back about all the great things you had in life and how you were a provider and you were proud. And it's gone. Now, it could be a lot worse. I do have, like I said, the number one thing, and that's my family. I can't show my anger around my family. It just gets bottled up. I gotta go. I gotta go out and go on a walk and go freaking cry somewhere. But what if somebody cuts me off? It's a potentially dangerous man. What if somebody threatens me? Or what if somebody looks at me the wrong way? Or looks at my wife the wrong way? Or looks at my kids the wrong way? It'd be a bad day for that guy. But it can be controlled with anger management, right? Every single time something happens that doesn't go my way, And it's not, and this isn't like, oh, everything needs to work for Tally, or else he's just, no, that's not true either. It's got to be big enough for it to really resonate for me to go back and then to open up all of those wounds. And then once that anger comes out, that bottled up anger and those emotions that I've been holding in for so long, once those get completely opened up, that's when I just, I go into this crisis mode. I go into a panic. I go into I need to get my pills. I need to get my heart rate. I need to get my heart rate down. And I hate it. Dude, people that know me, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm a happy man by trade. Came angry over the years, though, on things, like I said, I thought were that I had forgiven and forgotten. I truly haven't. You know, when my mood changes due to things happening in my life that I don't like or I can't control or whatever it may be, the sad thing is I always resort back to my comfort zone, and that's my chair. Somewhere I spent so many years of my life. The self-isolation, the ignoring of your friends, and basically escaping. Some call it running away. I've had the hardest time coping with stress because of it. Now, don't get me wrong. I've had a lot of good moments over the last 8.5 years. A lot of good moments. I was able to pass federal legislation without a member of Congress. I'm still working behind the scenes right now as a policy advisor. I have another bill right here in motion that I've been working on. That's getting ready to be introduced again. That's going to continue to protect veterans and to give veterans a clear path of legal recourse once they're damaged and hurt due to no fault of their own, so they don't lose everything that they've ever worked so hard for. I'm still working on that. And another thing that bothers me too is that there's so many nonprofits out there, and they're not doing their job either. I know, because I get veterans that email me and tell me, I found you online. I'm going through similar stuff at the VA. I reached out to X, Y, and Z. Nobody's getting a hold of me. So I emailed you. First thing they say is, wow, I'm surprised you emailed me back. I probably got a stack that high of emails. Every single time I help somebody, I print the email out and I put it on the stack. I'm old school like that. I don't keep anything digital. I'm a paper guy. See? It's my recent markups right now from all the stuff I'm doing in Congress still. All paper, right? I'm a paper guy. Policy advising. This is another way I'm helping veterans. See all the markups and this and that. And so I understand what they're going through, and that's why they reach out to me. If anybody's going to understand me, it's going to be this guy. But you know what? I got to pack all that in. I don't deserve that. I'm trying to heal myself. So I've been getting years and years of bad news. Can't tell them no. Can't help everybody, but I can give them some vetted resources of some good folks out there that can help them. The sad thing is you got to say, oh, hey, I talked to Brian Talley. He sent me you. You shouldn't have to say that. Why aren't these nonprofits reaching back out? Too busy counting their cash after the galas or what? Not putting the money where the mouth is? What does it take a guy like me working for the good of the country, not for one red cent, to do the job of Congress and the job of some of these nonprofits that are making big money, not doing their job? Post-traumatic stress. When I have moments of anger, the negativity comes out. The negativity comes out. And again, that too hurts because I've never been a negative person. And I do a lot of social media and I make a lot of motivational posts. And I do that to help myself and others. Because when you're broken, you got to do something to try to pick yourself up. Damaged. So I do that. And it probably helps me more than others. But if it helps others more than me, hey, I'm doing my job. But again, prior to January of 2016, when my life completely took a run for the worse, and it's never been the same, that's where the negativity, that's where a lot of the post-traumatic stress, all the insane events I went through when I was going through this bone-eating staph infection that ate me from the inside out for over 4 months and left me in immense pain that you cannot describe, pain that will put you on the bathroom floor, pain that will, you have to take 40 pills a day to make it through the day, not knowing if you're going to even be around at the end of the day. I'm so tired of always going back and reliving all the bad. And then when I go back and relive the good, I cry because I reminisce and I'm like, what if that day would have never happened? Where would my life be? Would I still be successful? Would we still be living Southern California somewhere? Would we be, your mind starts to play tricks on you. Would we be in Texas? They say you can't fight fate, right? People always say, "Oh, karma." I don't know what I did, but if I did something, Lord, I apologize. I've always thought I've always lived an honorable life. And I got chosen to go through some really bad stuff and continue to go through. Because of the damage that all of that did to my body. Irreparable damage has just gotten worse over the last 8.5 years. It's not going to get better. It just gets worse. So I live in the bathroom. My bladder's gone. Absolutely paralyzed bladder. Kidney. All 3 levels of my spine. I've had multiple surgeries now. Now I have rheumatoid arthritis that are attacking my joints throughout my body. I had to completely rechange my lifestyle because I had lost 100 pounds. People, oh my God, Tally, you've lost so much weight. And they look at me and I'm like, the discipline that it takes. I think the discipline comes from the anger. That's what I think. I think you can use anger in 2 different ways. You can use it to motivate you, or you can use it to have you sink deeper into despair. I think I do both. depending on what's going on in my life. Now, I'm lucky to be alive because I should have died in 2016 between the months of January and May 1st. But I'm here. So I'd rather take this life than not be here. Even though at times I just want to run away. Of course, when you're in your worst, when you're suffering from the anger and the depression and the anxiety, and it all starts to take over your mind, your body, and your spirit, you're not thinking rationally. Panicking, you're in your worst place. You're in that crisis mode. But if you're having a great day and everything's perfect and you're out celebrating and you're laughing with friends and you're out cheering on your kids and nothing can go wrong that day, you look back at maybe some pictures and you're like, oh my God, that was me last week. Oh, that's embarrassing. I felt that way. And then something will happen again, or, it could be the slightest little thing, somebody cutting you off and you get so freaking angry. Then it all just comes back and just keeps building and building and building and building. And this is why I said I need counseling. Making myself vulnerable. It hurts, but maybe this is what I need. Maybe this is therapy for me. Talking about it a little bit. And then also too, living with chronic pain and, living with, severe nerve damage and neuropathy and rapid degeneration of my spine and beginning to have a lot of cognitive type issues because I still do have to take about 20 pills a day. But that's the hand I was dealt. And I don't think a lot of people really truly understand, the last 8.5 years, there's so much has just gone wrong. It's crazy. A lot has gone right too. You got to understand, with my family, it's perfect. It's great. And I couldn't be more blessed than that. This is more so Brian Talley and Brian Talley alone stuff that I have to deal with inside my body. When all this stuff happened, the VA came out and they said that they were going to take care of everything so we wouldn't lose everything and that they were sorry. And that was all a lie. They backdoored me on a 74-year VA legal loophole. I'd lost my congressman. Can you imagine? Worst case in the VA. And you lose your congressman 2 weeks into it because he's indicted on federal charges for what? Stealing. That's honorable, huh? So then I had to do it on my own. All these bills behind me. I had to reinvent myself and do something I did not want to do because it hurt bad. It hurt. It hurt me. Walking those halls of Congress. I just wanted to get it done so fast because I couldn't get on with the rest of my life knowing that this freaking loophole out there is destroying the lives of so many great families. Not just families, honorable families. families of veterans that have fallen victim to malpractice, VA medical malpractice, due to no fault of their own. And I'm not sitting here bashing doctors. I know people have bad days. But series of mistakes and months and months and months of negligence is what malpractice is. And this is what we go through. And to have your livelihood taken away from you, theft, stolen, and it doesn't matter how many times you try to get back up. You take 2 steps forward and 10 steps back. And you're like, I just can't seem to get ahead, but I'm doing everything right. Intermittent fasting, walking, reading scriptures, doing everything right. It seems like I've helped so many people, but nobody's helping me. But I haven't really reached out for help because I don't know how until last week. Oh, my anger canceling class. But there's still so much more out there. Like I want to be a speaker. And every single time somebody helps me out to speak, there's no money in it. But I look at other people out and they're making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a speech. All right, well, I have a great story too, and it's very well done. And I get out there and I deliver. Like, why am I not worthy? It seems like I said, all I do is help others, but I don't get the same in return. That could be a lot to weigh on a man, especially when you can't say no. You're looking for practice. You're doing everything you can to make yourself better. Reps, right? Muscle memory. You want to get the best. You want to be the best at something. You got to practice it. Okay, well, I'm not a professional, but guess what? I wasn't a professional member of Congress, but I still have a better track record than half of them that are getting paid while I do their job for free. Even with the hand I was dealt. I had no voice. I had to create my own voice. Grassroots. And you veterans out there, I want you to listen to this. So many reach out to me that you need help. Be your own voice. Create your own voice. Advocate for yourself. I can't advocate for everybody. I advocate for a lot, and I've backed off a lot because I can't take everybody's. In order for me to effectively help somebody, I got to take in your baggage, absorb it, live it, breathe it, speak it, and then respond as if I am in your shoes. This is how I treat those emails. And then I have to unpack it. Some of it I can't. It's a lot of trauma. A lot of folks are going through that they can't get the help that they need. Or maybe they don't want help. Maybe they just want someone to talk to for 10 minutes. And my wife knows, my kids know, he's on the phone with another veteran. He's on the phone with another veteran. Oh my God, he's texting another veteran. I mean, he's emailing another, like, it's my time. And there's no fanfare in this. I don't talk about it online. I don't get on Facebook and say, I helped another 10 veterans today. I just do it because I feel like I'm obligated to do it, because when they look online, they see, oh, this guy's been through it. Maybe he'll help. Or he'll at least understand and keep it all in confidence. because a lot of veterans are even afraid to go to the VA and tell them their problems or whatever it may be, and for fear of entrapment. They're going to take away my Second Amendment right, and I love to shoot. It's my hobby. They've already taken away so much from me, from my service, that they can't take away this. So I'm going to pretend everything's okay. I'm going to hold it all in until one day they remove themselves from this world. I was also, throughout my process, stripped of my right due process. I was stripped of seeing a state judge and a federal judge for my case. How'd that happen? How did I have Natalie Quam, one of the highest profile attorneys in the world, let alone country, look at my case and say, unreal, it's bulletproof? Never seen it. So I knew something had to be done. So I go through something that less than 1/10% of anybody will ever get, that bone-eating staph infection that ate me from the inside out for 4 months. That's usually detected within 24 hours because of the pain. Yeah, just went 4 months getting shot up with Dilaudid. No big deal. 40 pills a day. Then get backdoored and blasted by that loophole. Then I lose my congressman. Then I get denied the right to due process in civil and federal court. Like I said, I had already mentioned everything I've lost. I was denied 7 times. Nobody knows this. And talk about anger coming out. I was denied 7 times for Social Security. It took me 4.5 years and 3 attorneys to get Social Security approved, finally. Showing them and pleading to them the severity of my case and the severity of my physical ailments. And the damage, the irreparable damage it did from head to toe. Why did I get denied 7? My story was national freaking news. Doesn't take much to do a little bit of research, right? You could find it all up. Oh yeah, he's toast. Going back to my job, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. And then setting and trying to get a new job somewhere when I'm in the bathroom all the time, and then all of a sudden, I can't sit down for very long periods of time, can't stand up for very long periods of time, got to get my spine up, got to take my pills, anxiety, the depression, the pain, and then and then you got anger, and it's like those days are over. That's why I started a podcast, because I wanted to be proud of myself again. And like I said, every single time I take 2 steps forward, I take 10 steps back. I just want to live again. I don't want to have so much pressure on me still. but I'm an alpha male. Lost our life savings, the family vehicle, the small business, our livelihoods. Work everything we worked so hard for. And we still kept a family together. That's just amazing, because so many of the veterans that actually do reach out to help for me are going through crisis of their own, and they explain their trauma or their sickness that put them in their chair and in their isolation, and their spouses leave. It happens all the time. Mine stuck around. And I think it was because I worked so hard for so many years for them that they understood that when Daddy went down, they stepped up because they knew I'd do it for them. They knew I did it for them for so many years, provided. Missed a lot because Daddy had to work. I don't know why God's put me through this, but it's not been an easy go. Even though at times I make it look like it is. It's been far from that. Just became emotionally, mentally, and physically broken. I guess those do make for the best therapists or counselors when people are reaching out to me for counsel. I say, I can be a friend. I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you counsel. But I don't look at counsel as a law term anymore. I look at it as godly counsel. I've been there. I'm great at giving advice. I'm really bad at taking my own. So I've learned I don't know how to deal with stress. I've learned that I don't know how to deal with stress. And I've learned that if I go through something, a rough patch, everything keeps coming back. I need to stop that shit. I can't live the rest of my life, and when something bad goes, it just goes back to January 2016. Because that's the life I'm living right now. Like, another bad thing, our roof wasn't covered for the storm. The only one on the block. Denied. And we lost, a quarter of the roof. We lost our fence. We actually had the worst damage on the block. Everybody else getting new roofs, not us. Denied. We're the only ones that have Allstate too. The ones that spend, I don't know, tens and hundreds of millions of dollars a year in doing commercials so they can deny again rightful claims. Seen that movie before. And what did I do? Nothing can go right. Just like how it all started in January of 2016, everything goes back to that. To that point of trauma. And then everything that ensued afterwards. And I got to give it to my wife. She did everything she could to stave off complete financial ruin, and she did a great job. We racked up a ton of money in credit card debt, but guess what? We paid it all back, little by little. Took years, but we got it done. We've started over here in Houston, Texas, where it's far cheaper to live pretty much anywhere else in the country. And Texas has been good to us. And I have an office that I'm in right now that I love. This is like my happy place. with a lot of things behind me that I'm proud of, that gives me happiness. That's why I hang out in here. I look at the wall sometimes and look at my accomplishments and then call myself a loser in the next sentence. I went from being a calm, cool, collective problem solver to panicking, running away, sweating profusely, reaching for anxiety pills, trying to make myself feel numb from the pain. Feeling as if I let my family down every day. Especially when everything feels like it's caving in around you and you cannot get up. It doesn't matter. Recreate, reinvent. I've been trying to for so long. I'm doing everything right. I just can't seem to get over the hump. So, you kind of feel trapped in an insecure, vulnerable body, right? This is why I'm good at helping veterans. And really anybody who's going through any life challenge. Or problems in their life that they wouldn't feel comfortable with talking to other people because their life is perfect, or so they see, or so it seems. They're making all that money and they're doing all this great stuff and got the perfect life, and they don't want to put themselves around anybody who's been damaged. Can't take that, right? Or again, they just won't connect. A lot of will just ignore it. Well, you'll be all right. Let's go get a drink. Again, that's what leads to a lot of these problems too. If you were to tell somebody that the first thing they're going to say, hey, let's go get a beer. You can't do that because it's just going to make things worse. And then you get a DUI, and then you're getting arrested, and then what? And then it's a cycle. That's why I stay home a lot. I try to eliminate that stuff. But I guess that's what feeling trapped feels like. I don't even like to drive anymore. Besides, my neck hurts all the time too. I can barely turn at times. Too many surgeries. So I like when my wife drives. Plus, I have to take a lot of pills, unfortunately. So it's kind of better if she drives. Plus, it keeps me where I need to be. But yeah, man, going through hardships and all that stuff, man, it's not been fun. It's not been easy. It sucks. Especially when you gotta try to figure out how to get out of it, but you're doing everything right. Over the years, I've come up with this saying, and I think it's true because I see it every day. The more you give honorably in this world, And in this country, the more value that you add to your community, and the more work you put in, all the good, the more you're punished. And these punishments come in all separate ways, in all these different ways. The more you're punished in life, for the more you contribute. The more you contribute, the more you're punished. And the least you contribute, the more you're rewarded. It's the way I see it. You're not going to change my mind on it either. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. The more you contribute, the more you are punished. The least you contribute, the more you are rewarded. So feeling hopeless and feeling helpless and broken and beyond repair it is something that I am working on getting better every single day, and I have not forgotten to get 1% better every single day. Now, I may have digressed or regressed, whatever that word is, trying to act all smart, going backwards. Okay, you can still go backwards. It's almost easier to get 1% better every single day if you go backwards, because then it makes getting that 1% easier. That's just a positive way to look at it, right? Look at that. This is already helping. I just want you folks to know out there that you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that are hurting in life for a bunch of different reasons that we don't know. There's a lot of angry people out there in this country that are hurting for reasons that we don't know. There's folks that are grieving. There's folks that may be having the best day of their life. There's folks that may be having the worst day of their life. There's folks that are trying to figure themselves out, their identity, where they're going to fit in life, what they're going to do, how they're going to survive, what's next, the anxieties, the depressions, the ups, downs, the ebbs and flows of life. So I'm going to end on this, like I always do in every single one of my podcasts. And I know this podcast has probably been good for some, and maybe some tuned out a long time ago. It's okay. It's not for them, right? Not everything I put out, people are going to like. Not everything I put out, people are going to engage with. A lot of people will engage with this, but I felt the need I needed to do this. And I don't know why I did today, but I did. Just did it. Just felt like I got to do this. I had my first anger appointment, 9. Now I'm doing this. It will not beat me, though. Like my good friend said, and my brother, my story's not over yet. And neither is yours. And together, we can get 1% better every single day, no matter the hand that we have been dealt. Some people just have luck. Like me, everything I touched turned to gold for years. Now I can't seem to buy a break. So I got to take my own advice here. Remember, stay inspired, stay encouraged, stay motivated, and always stay in the fight. Until next time, for the Today with Tally podcast, this is Brian Tally. Good night, Semper Fi. God bless.
This is the Today with Tally podcast.